Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit, and I'm with Kel, of course. Kel, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing well.
How's everything been going for you this week?
Um, not too bad. It's been a crazy week of work and all
Oh,
that, but when
believe
is
me.
it not? And then,
Yeah, the kids going
played
back to
quite a
school.
bit of Overwatch yesterday, so that was nice.
Yeah, I did not play. I haven't been playing. I played a couple days ago. I of course got sucked into Teamfight Tactics, so I've been playing that, um, and I'm enjoying it
Yeah.
because, well, I've actually been playing Overwatch and then playing that like after I kind of get in that. All right, I played 3 matches. I'm kind of a little grumpy.
Right.
All right, let me go in here and just use my brain and not all of my things.
Yeah.
It's all the skills and I like it. It's fun. Um,
I do need
uh,
to give that game a shot.
yeah, especially if you like strategy stuff, and
Yeah.
and it's I call it like it's like the Final Fantasy Tactics sort of with LOL stuff, and then Deep Rock Galactic. I got to figure out what that one is. Which one's that?
Yeah, I've not heard of that one. I also just this week got Mario Maker 2, so been playing that a decent amount as well.
Yeah, and
Because, how do you not love Nintendo games?
well, you have
Especially
to.
when you can make your own levels.
Well, yeah. Well, I was Nintendo, but then I transitioned into Sega.
Yeah, well, I grew up as a Sega kid,
Yeah.
and then I became more of a Nintendo person
Yeah.
with the 64. That's
Yeah,
really what
see,
sold me.
I mean, I had the original one, and the amount of violence that ensued in the dorms when we were playing Super Tecmo Bowl, the second one.
Oh yeah, I
when
can
they-
imagine.
Yeah, we didn't have online, so when things got toxic, things got crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot more fists that could.
Well, yeah, broken controllers.
Right.
Fuck that! You can't use the fucking Raiders. Bo Jackson's well, they didn't say OP back then, or broken. It was like Bo Jackson just kills everybody.
Right.
So it was like a no Raiders rule, which
I mean, fair enough, because Bo Jackson was literally unstoppable in those games.
Look, he was almost unstoppable in real life too.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's inaccurate.
Yeah, him and Barry Sanders
Yeah.
in that game, and
Oh God. Just like the big news this week of guy retiring well before he should have.
yeah. And if anyone's out there who's a
Barry
Colts fan, fuck you. If you're booing him,
Yeah,
fuck you.
right. Oh my God, right? How the
That's
fuck
I
are
should
you
say
gonna boo
that.
that guy?
And then
Like,
and they're the same guy that would have in week 2 if he couldn't drop back and would look like crap would be calling for Kobe Brissett and saying he should retire.
but then now he's also gonna be the same guy who's like, oh, we gotta run a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett because this reason, and that reason, and none of it has anything to do with because he's black. Nope.
For me, no,
Yeah.
no, not at all. Not in the middle of white bread
I don't-
America.
No, certainly not the feelings in Baltimore either with Lamar Jackson.
I don't
God.
care what color guy is. If they win, they win.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes, I mean, I was not a fan of Tim Tebow. He was that style of quarterback as those guys, and it has
Yes. Trench foot. Oh man. Oof.
a trench foot. Basically, Andrew
Well-
Luck is Burt Jones. I've said this all along. If you guys don't know who Burt Jones is, look him up. He
Yeah,
was the same. He was the same dude. He was this phenom in college. He led them to some playoff games, and they were turning it around and all this stuff. But he got broken. He actually got broken, and then went to the Rams, and then got broken more, and then retired.
I also find it ironic how the way that people in Baltimore feel about the Colts is how I feel about the Ravens. So yeah.
Yeah,
We got our team back, but did we really?
yeah. You got you got that. Whatever.
Now
it is.
we might be
Yeah.
something relevant, but had to suffer through 20 years of the worst football ever played. If you can even call it played.
Well, there was they're in the record books
People
for
were on
something.
the field at times. And sometimes they weren't, and sometimes there were too many people on the field,
And sometimes they just shouldn't have been on the field.
or sometimes there was too many beer bottles on the field.
Tinfoil hat. Luck joined his father to. Is his dad coaching?
Is he? Oh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What is he, Mark Trestman's kid?
Oh God.
All right, let's actually dive into some Overwatch.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so here we are, guys. We have completed the season. Season 2 is in the books, which is insane to even think about that.
I can't even process it yet.
Yeah.
That it's over.
So,
oh shit! I didn't realize he had that much power. Like his dad is the commissioner of the league.
Well,
that would be crazy if he did end up joining the XFL. Oh man!
And then he'll be back.
Roger Goodell might shit his pants on TV.
Hey, the only bonus is if he wants to come back to the NFL, he'll have enough steroids given to him by the owner of the league. He'll be fine.
He'll never feel pain again.
No, his head will be so big he could have like a bear for a beard, his neck beard, not that raccoon he has now.
Oh man! Imagine how do they give him a combined Peyton Manning's old helmets or something? I'm sure they'd be big enough.
Yeah, the 8 head.
Yeah.
But talking about the season, yeah, it was. I mean, we were everybody was starved, obviously, for Overwatch League, and they got here, and I don't want to say it was disappointing. It just wasn't. It wasn't what we expected, but it was still fun to watch. It was still fun to watch certain teams. Like in the beginning, middle of the season, you could see that the teams that were running the 3-3 that were so good, and the other teams just couldn't figure it out.
No, they just could not get to that level, and it was very evident that it didn't matter how good of a collection of players you had.
Yeah.
It was all about your teamwork, and if you didn't have the right teamwork and the right coaching and all of those things combined, you were terrible. It was one tier or 2 tiers. It was the top 3 teams or the top 2 teams really of the elite of the elite, and then everybody else.
Right.
And then a bottom tier of really, really, really bad.
Yeah, the stoplight
the free wins.
The stoplight trio. But
yeah, the stoplight trio.
There was, a lot of it. I mean, and we all were we were sick of goats and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But when we got towards the later part of the season, I think and a lot of things with stage 3, they knew that the DPS was coming. I think that's why teams started switching to it.
Yeah. And it really it's amazing how much of a difference it made. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Stage 2 was there was times where it was nearly unwatchable.
Fucking dumb.
It was horrible. You knew who the best teams were, and all you were looking forward to was those 2 teams playing each other again in that next stint.
Yeah.
Or in the next stage playoff. That is something that it is going to be interesting looking into next year as far as how that's all going to play out by not having those kinds of matchups, and I'm interested to see how the pacing of the season works when you're not having those breaks and you're not going to have those big matchups to look forward to.
And I'm also looking for, the one thing that was about this season that the schedule kind of at this point now, it bothered me how it was set up.
Yeah.
It was just, you knew who the good teams were going to be, kind of, you know what I mean? You knew San Francisco was going to be way improved from the year before. You knew New York was good. But yet they back-to-back hammered these teams with these schedules. It's I know you got to make room. You're all in the same place, though. You're not doing away games and all that stuff.
Right.
Why do teams
kind of understand that they kind of wanted to format it that way so they could get used to that's how their schedules are going to kind of play out. But yeah, it was
yeah, some of it was just
definitely times where it just did not work.
No, and by the time we got to stage 2 and 3, it was just you look at the schedule and go, this team's done before it starts. Mm-hmm. Dallas started coming back a little bit after their homestand, but then you looked at your stage 3 schedule and the way they were you know, the way it was stacking up, you're like, nope. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, and then some teams you're like, well, let's see. Right now they have Boston, the Mayhem, Toronto, and Washington in the GOATS meta, and you're like, well, that's 4 wins. Okay, so they got to play Hangzhou and Shanghai. Those are up in the air, but they're going to be in the stage playoffs. I just hope, like, I think with the continuous season, it's not going to seem as weird, too.
Yeah. I do feel like the continuous season is going to present some new things that are going to be like why is this bad? But I think it's overall, especially the first few weeks, like before we have every team that has theirs, like all of those new venues and everything, I think that's going to add a lot. And I think that was one of the major successes that they had this year.
Oh yeah,
is going to and doing all of the different homestands, because even though like Dallas far and away just blew everybody out of the water. That was a really high bar to set that they set, but at the same time,
Atlanta was fantastic as well.
Yeah, Atlanta was still really good.
Yeah,
and even this weekend's with the Valiant, like that one was pretty good as well. I would say it was probably the weakest of the 3
because it was the Blizzard Arena in a different arena.
Right.
All right. Look, I'm not going to. Fantastic. You know, it was great. They had the dunk tanks and all that. That was fun, but.
I did like that, but
it's still the same group of fans that were at every fucking game,
right?
And
I wonder if it's going to differ at all next year when each of the Valiant and the Gladiators have their own venues.
I think it's going to differ because they're not going to have the advantage of the fans are not going to have the advantage of seeing them every week, so they're going to have to go to these events and be rowdy and loud, and I think it's going to work out better for them, actually.
Yeah, because there's not going to be games every single week, so it's just like, well, do you want to go this week? Sure, why not?
Yeah,
like,
it's we have 2 shots.
Right.
Well, 4 if you count when the or 3 if I'm assuming they're playing at one of the Gladiators.
Each one gets 2.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they're playing at one of the Gladiators things because you gotta.
Yeah.
If you have the Battle of LA somewhere other than LA,
right?
that would be fucking weird. I'm just not even gonna pull that. You know, like same thing.
I would be really shocked if they don't play each other.
Yeah, like
at one there. Well, actually, they would have to.
Well, no, I mean they could.
I guess they could make that into like an away one, but I would be absolutely stunned. I'm sure. Well, it's something we could easily find out, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, easily.
That's a thing.
We talked about the schedule setup on our
easily.
preview. Easily, that's up in the air.
Got to go through this. Like, am I reading a fucking dissertation? Actually, no. That would have more organization to it.
Well, that have organization in words. It wouldn't just be random squares.
Right.
Okay, and
like is this somebody's rough draft of their of like their first
like Little League?
Yeah. Well, not even though like the rough draft is somebody in their first class of digital
digital
Photoshop or
graphic design.
Yeah, graphic design. That's the word I was looking for.
Like your design wasn't bad. It was just
portfolio.
The presentation was terrible.
Oh, it's garbage.
I feel like
that's part of it.
Somewhere there's got to be like a spreadsheet for Excel that has like a fucking baseball schedule where you have the color. I'm just gonna do every team's on there. Fuck it.
Totem did it for us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, all right. So let's dive in a little bit here. So the kick. We kind of dove in. The weekend was kind of cool.
The weekend. Yeah, it was cool.
But
some fun things. The little dunk tank thing was funny, and like it was cool to see like all the different.
They had a weird 1v1 today. I missed. I was working. I don't know what the hell that was.
I didn't even see that.
No,
who was playing
like,
who?
I don't know. It was something. It wasn't anything memorable. It wasn't like Bren doing something fucking dopey.
Of course.
Which I'm always down for.
Just anything that Bren does anymore.
You know what? It's one of those things. I think that guy is so smart that he can pull off being a fucking absolute idiot.
Yeah.
And he does it well.
That sounds about right. He does.
Yeah, and
can't lie.
I mean, you need some of that. Okay, so the weekend was, The Valiant had to win, and I'm gonna go here. Nobody gave them a break.
Oh, oof. Well, it was a valiant effort.
Custa's last stand. Was it? I sound like a bad.
Well, it kind of. I mean, at least from where they were after the first two stages, they really did.
They really, and you
turn things around. And for them to have even been in that position,
yeah.
especially after seeing how horribly bad they were to start.
Think about this: if they pulled just one of those map 5s out from stage 1, it'd be a different story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we would not have Chengdu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
good God, I want to try that game now.
Just don't have me shoot. If we do that, I'm not shooting. No way. Just miss. Unless it's Moira. That doesn't count, does it?
I mean, she requires aim.
Ish. I just put my hand out like this. I just do this thing. I just run around like that.
Give me your life. Let me pee on you with my hand.
And then hail to my ult.
Right.
That's what it sounds like she's saying. Anyway, but yeah, so all right, we're making fun of the Valiant, but you know, it was a, no pun intended here, but it was a valiant effort. I mean, they did come back from a shitty first stage. They played decently. They didn't play great, but you know, here we are. We have Chengdu. You know, the wrench in the fucking mix for everybody's playoff plans. I'm sure most of the teams would like to have seen the Valiant in there, because you could figure out what the Valiant are going to do.
Right. And, you have no idea what Chengdu is going to do, and they are they are the ultimate wild card.
Only problem is they draw Guangzhou first.
They do.
And then but they've beaten them.
Oh, is that how they're going to do it? Yeah. Okay. Because so London and Seoul get a bye.
London and Seoul get a bye.
Yeah.
And London could get hammered and knocked out. And then we have Philly and Shanghai playing in the other match.
Yeah.
And
which is I'm leaning towards Philly just because Shanghai has just been.
I mean, I don't know what to think. They look terrible again.
Oh, they were horrible today.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we did not go over the sure for yet.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that. Good God.
Fucking just absolutely wrecked them. That was just like, he was cold, and I was watching that at, with Thornrain at a watch party, and he was cold like a little bit in the control, the first one. Then all of a sudden it was just like boom, and I was like, oh, they're fucking in trouble. He's like, he just went nuts, and I love that dude. And you know what? Here's the one thing I said it last year too with Sureforce. Since we're talking about this, he's clutch because he's so fucking. I mean, he might be nervous, but he's calm.
Yeah,
he's got that like, all right.
He's got that kind of calm, collected demeanor, even when like
shit's going weird,
crazy. He's just kind of got that like, okay, I'm gonna go and do my job.
Yeah, and I think he's a leader on that team, and he just. I think he keeps them level, and he's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Valiant got no fucking breaks at all.
They really did not.
I was kind of I mean, I knew they were done once the Gladiators beat him.
Yeah. There was no way they were going to beat San Francisco, especially with the freaking Titanic match that we got of.
Oh man, that was so good, as usual.
San Francisco and Vancouver again.
Because those two teams don't know what the word sandbagging, take a break. Because then they were putting other guys in, and it's like those guys are just going fucking.
Right.
Because I hate that.
That was the most we saw of that kind of thing, of like them like sandbagging or just trying different things. Was just like, okay, we're gonna put in other guys who also hate each other,
and who are also out of this world.
Right. Like, the amount of talent on both of those teams is just absurd.
It's sick. And Atlanta solidified themselves. We kind of talked about the London being in the play-in. I mean, we'll dip into that towards the back end of the show tonight, and then we'll do a big preview this week.
Yeah.
Where we talk about the teams, what we think, our bracket prediction, all that kind of stuff. But Atlanta secured themselves in the top 6 this week, and they're going to throw a wrench into that whole San Francisco, Vancouver, New York discussion, I think.
I do too. Well, I mean, they are.
I think they're fucking good. It might be a trap game for the Charge. They're going to play
San Francisco in the first match.
You're right, Mikey.
Which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a fucking sick match.
Oh my god.
This is like at least like some of this, and remember it's a double elim too. So even if Atlanta loses or San Francisco loses, San Francisco in a losers bracket might be scary.
Oh god, that would be terrifying.
Do they sandbag that? Just throw.
Well,
no, they don't know what that word is. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they don't.
But Atlanta looked fantastic.
Well, I'm thinking either. I would say either Vancouver or San Francisco is going to end up in the losers bracket.
One of them's something's gonna happen.
One of them has to, because only one team is gonna win all the way out.
Yeah.
So those two could still.
I mean, someone can sneak in and beat Vancouver. Someone can sneak in and beat San Francisco absolutely. Easily.
I mean, if London has some kind of big resurgence and shows up like they did last year,
probably gonna play Sigma.
Oh my god. No, I feel like Gesture is going to be a phenomenal Sigma.
Or Fury. Either they have so much talent. They
really do.
We're going to talk about like some of the things on these teams, like our actual feelings on these teams after the season. It might be a couple weeks after because I'm taking a vacation, like literally 2 days after the finals. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Krusty would get his beating stick out. Well, they sandbagged today. That was the only sandbagging they did.
That's like the closest thing you've ever seen to that.
And still, like fucking Stryker was in there, and then Sinatra was spawn camping on the last map of the season. The Valiant were like done, and they weren't even playing. And he was just like, "You want some more, bitch?" And he's fucking doom fisting the fuck out of them.
Right? Oh my god!
At the spawn camp door on Junkertown, I'm like, what?
That was absolutely ridiculous.
And, as much as everybody talks about Young Jin and a couple of these other guys that play Doomfist, Sinatra's is absolutely psychotic, insane as well. I mean the Doomfisting
going on between those.
Don't
two
Google that.
San Francisco versus Vancouver. I mean, Siomin Su was an absurdly good Doomfist on that. That match. Oh my god.
I mean, those two teams were just wrecking each other, and it was awesome.
It really were.
It was like actually, it's like watching one of those matches in a Rocky movie.
Oh yeah, just trading huge blows at each
stuff
other.
That shouldn't exist. Like,
right.
There's no way you should be able to do that. And then, oh wait, they just got up off the mat and they did something worse back to them.
Right. Like, oh, you just literally uppercut that guy and he like flew in the air like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And then he stood up and
hit you like 6 times in the face.
Like just haymakers like right in a row, like rapid fire haymakers somehow. Like that is just what these two teams do to each other. It's insane.
I mean, yeah, it's fun. And okay, so let's talk about Atlanta. We got to get back to Atlanta because there's some things.
Yes,
there were some things.
I want to give credit to. I don't remember exactly who said it on Reddit, but I know it was on there. I believe it was on Competitive Overwatch. But they made an incredibly good point about the rain, and because everyone's talking about Dogman and Defran and all pretty much their whole season of craziness and like their really really horrible stage to now they're being possibly one of the best. I mean, they just had a perfect stage.
A perfect stage that you kind of were like, oh, maybe.
Right. And now looking at them, like, and everyone's talking about Dogman and all the controversy.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Him calling out some of the guys, and honestly, I think it's hilarious. But him, like, and everyone talking about him, but really what more people should be talking about is their coach.
Yeah.
And
their GM.
this is their coach and their GM, because their coach, guess who he coached last year, guys? If anyone doesn't remember, before Krusty came in, he was coaching the Shock.
And he was one of the guys that was integral in getting Super and Sinatra. Mm-hmm. And, when they started doing some of that mid-season turnover stuff, the bringing in Architect and bringing in Rascal and not Rascal.
He did
Moth,
not bring in Rascal.
Moth. I'm sorry, Moth.
Yeah.
I was thinking supports in this. For some reason, Rascal came up in my brain.
Fair enough.
Rascal was an off-season signing, but,
Yeah.
And he got with the, went to the Reign. Yeah, they got DeFran. They talked him into it, but they also knew that he was going to leave at some point. I mean,
they knew
he was not permanent.
There was no way he was going to play the whole season.
No.
Like, just looking back on it, like, anybody thinking that he was going to make it through this whole season, even us, like, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to play, and it's going to be great. It's gonna be hilarious.
But in the back of your mind going, when's he going to leave?
Right, like, when's the other shoe going to drop?
Yeah,
I mean, hell, he almost quit after the first week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that we got him for a full stage is pretty awesome as it is. But I mean,
the way they built this team and the way they... Yeah, exactly. Trenchfoot. He was going to leave no matter what.
Absolutely.
He just wanted to prove that he could play with pros, I think, is really what it was. And
he was good enough to play in the pros to anybody that doubted him. And then also...
Which I don't know who the hell that person would be, but...
Right, to also ditch the stigma that he can't play with a team and properly do all
and
that
play proper Overwatch
after the throwing thing.
Yeah, and memeing and all that bullshit that he does. But you know what? You got to cover 4.5 hours somehow on a stream. But yeah,
I never get to watch him anymore because he streams so early now.
I know, because he's in fucking EU and.
Well, yeah. Even then, he would still
he would stream all fucking day.
In their time, he's streaming at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
that's the weirdest part.
It's becoming an adult or something fucked up
or something. It's weird. I mean, there's times where I've gotten up at 6 o'clock in the morning and he has been streaming for 2 hours by that point.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Doing?
Yeah, I agree with that, Trenchfoot.
Yes,
I don't know the dude as a person, but I don't get the value or the likability of his stream. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He's a very good player.
Oh, yeah.
I will give him that. He's a very, very good player, but I just don't enjoy his stream.
Yeah, but, I mean, aside from that, so they also picked up, players here and there. They got a good Korean tank line in Popo and Daco, but they also picked up FRD or Fried Wiener or whatever the hell his name is.
Fried Wiener.
We'll use the band name on this show because we don't give a fuck.
I mean, that's the biggest thing with this team is and we were saying it before, because anyone talk about it is oh, it's just DeFran and a bunch of scrubs. No,
we were kind of
it never was that.
Well, at the start of the season, we were kind of this team has the potential to be really good.
Right.
Just by looking at, I mean, I looked at, I didn't watch them playing Contenders or wherever else, but watching things like videos and things like that, because you can pull shit like that up, and I'm like, all right, these guys aren't terrible at all. Everyone's making they're mediocre at best.
Right. No, they actually have a really good roster.
Yeah.
And they have absolutely proven that. Even after their abysmal time, for them to have turned it around the way that they did. After DeFran left, and then they just had that terrible
synergy.
stage.
They also had synergy problems and a shitty fucking schedule.
Yeah, it was a really shitty schedule, and then on top of it, they were trying to re-synergize everything with the hardest meta that there's ever been when it comes to teamwork.
Yeah.
And
someone that's barely played...
Set that.
barely played in it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was practicing it, the Baby Bay we're talking about, but
right.
And then you have guys gods like Enlayer and Erster sitting on the bench because they got to play fucking Brigida.
Right.
I mean, Well, I mean that goes for every team really that had that happen. You know, but
well, then also like having to like, because I feel like they got to that point where they couldn't do that, or they couldn't really do what they needed to do, because like Popo's a good tank, but he is not the like elite tank you need to really have made goats work, and that was a big problem that they had too. And they had a really good Diva and Daco, but I think he gave them a lot of issues.
He got a little weird with
shit
and all that fucking nonsense that was going on with him. But the thing is right now in this meta, Popo is good at what he does. You know, and whoever they have, or whether it's FRD or Daco playing in the off tank, they're playing well. And Baby Bay is, lest we forget that Baby Bay was a fucking good DPS for a long time, man. And I mean,
even then, for him to have stepped up the way that he did and pulled everything out, like,
and he lost some of the ego bullshit that he had going on, and he admitted, like, hey, I had ego issues and I was kind of fucked up, and
And I think his growth in that has really helped him become a good leader, and I think he's been an instrumental in getting this team turned around and really having a good finish to the season. And I think with him especially, he's just been instrumental in that turnaround. And I think it all comes back to the coaching staff recognizing that Baby Bay's kind of got that, because he also got picked up by humbled.
Remember?
Well, yeah, because
the guy picked him up.
Right, and because he originally brought him onto the Shock, so he knew what kind of person Baby Bay was, and I think he knew that, and so bringing him in was 100% a fantastic move on their part, and everyone doubted it, and it's just like he knew better than anybody else, so why not? And
then he brought in Dogman, and Moss is the secret weapon on that team sometimes. I feel like, man, fucking Moss is an awesome support.
As much as we talk about him, like, I feel like no one else gives Moss.
They kind of give him credit now.
They give him credit, like it's starting to, but even like I feel like they never talk about him on the desk, like especially now because Erster's going off all the time. But like, Massa has just been consistently fantastic.
Well, and he's not Jonacking or anything like that. I mean, he's playing main support, so...
Yeah, he's playing main support, so you're not... And, it's not like last year where you had a guy like, Tuno, Battle
Arc.
Mercy, or...
Arc just being... Arc.
Never dies, whatever, like...
The Arc who never dies and damage boosts the fucking best Zenyatta in the league.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I think... I'm looking forward to seeing them in the playoffs, man.
I'm really excited.
That first fucking match is gonna be lit.
Oh yes.
Them in San Francisco. Oh man, it's gonna be fantastic. But
so acknowledging the chat real quick with
we'll talk about the fuel.
What? Why would we though? They're completely irrelevant now.
Well, we will eventually. We'll talk about the fuel. Well, they're part of this next part. The whole Dogman thing.
Yes.
So Dogman fucking lit up Arrow.
Let's jump into that, because my God, what a...
there's so many things you can say about it. All right, yeah, should he have said it? Probably not. Do I care? Not really.
No.
Is he wrong? No.
He's not.
And
by the way,
and Unko coming out and being Granddad and trying to slap him. Look, Granddad, your coach hasn't won fucking anything either. In fact, he coached the most bullshit fucking team that represented our country since the fucking 98 Olympic basketball team that just fucking tanked and left.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
So there, I said that. Yeah, laughing at teams on VODs or videos that go on YouTube, and then getting your fucking ass just literally handed to you like you were in fucking prison. And Dallas hasn't done shit either with him as their head coach. So I mean, I'm not knocking the guy as a person, but you know what? There's some things not going on right there.
Something's not going right.
I don't know if it's personnel, but you know what?
As much of a turnaround as they had last season in that last stage.
And that was because Mickey was a god on Brigida and no one could figure it out.
Right. Is that more of it than anything Arrow did? Like, I mean, yeah, Arrow did come in and they got a lot better when he did because Kai, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to just kind of galvanize what he had, but then, clearly this year it didn't work out. But at the same time, I'm looking at what Dogman said.
He was a little toxic, yeah, and
he was.
I mean, that wasn't necessary.
That's kind of his thing.
But that was a dick move. It was kind of a dick move, though.
It was a little bit like, but I can't. I don't know. I just like Dogman. I want to hate him at times, but I really do like him.
But he owned it today. He was wearing a clown fucking wig and a clown nose.
He really
or
did.
he was just mocking Unco. I don't know.
Maybe
we have an off-support fucking battle going on here.
It's a clown fiesta.
I don't know, Unco. Who's in the playoffs and who's not?
You know what it kind of reminds me of? And I hope it doesn't end as poorly for them as it did for him, but it reminds me of Jalen Ramsey when he was talking all that smack about every quarterback in the league basically last year.
Oh, yeah, he gave his ratings on every quarterback.
It's like, dude, your QB is Blake Bortles.
And by the way, you got in the playoffs the year before not because of him.
Yeah.
You got it because he didn't turn the ball over as much. He
Right.
didn't win you any games.
And yeah, he certainly didn't win you any games.
Dogman is better than Blake Bortles, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm putting Dogman, but I can't even put him on the level of Jalen Ramsey either.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? Say what you want. I don't care. Smack talk is fine.
Yeah.
Like
I honestly he went a little too far.
Yeah,
but
it was
at
a
the
little
same
over
time,
the edge. It was a little bitchy, but it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you said you played like shit, and you're.
But then at the same time, like,
So
how
did Arrow.
does Rockus keep getting the spot? That's the biggest question. Like, he's not wrong. Like,
Well, and he said that
it.
he said that he played like shit because he didn't want to give people people to give Sleepy and Raucous shit. Could someone give the coaches shit for picking Raucous every fucking year?
Right.
I mean, I don't. It's like one of those things. I keep
there's
saying
nothing
it. I'm
against
talking about
Raucous
Raucous as a guy,
Yeah.
but there's nobody in tier 2 better than fucking Raucous, Dogman, or Sleepy.
Yeah. There's got to be someone.
Same thing. It's like, all right. So we have kind of Dallas, kind of Houston, fucking again.
But even if it's just those I still feel like either Dogman or Sleepy could have performed better because Raucous was hot garbage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the whole team was straight top to
Oh
bottom.
God, here we go. We're talking about fucking Houston again. How does fucking Houston come up every fucking week?
Well, no, I'm not talking about Houston. I'm talking about one of their players.
But then you said their team was hot garbage.
Well, USA was hot garbage.
Okay.
Team USA. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, Team USA was hot garbage in the World Cup last year.
Oh, yeah.
No one can question that. So there had to be something else that they could have done other than playing Raucous. That was at least one different move that they could have.
Well,
so on that point, I do think he is right.
Yeah, and he didn't come out and say that it was the Raucous thing. But
yeah, but we all know what he was talking about.
Yeah, you're pretty much right on that, Trenchfoot. I mean, there's got to be someone like in tier 2, but I also am one of those people that the World Cup. I wouldn't mind it being like a tier 2 All-Star fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might not be able to find like 6, 8 guys, whatever you have to have from fucking Finland or something like that in tier 2, but make it like a not Overwatch League thing. And Korea'd still win, but at least it'd be closer than them just blindfolding and picking a fucking roster.
Right, like
who's our roster this year? Yeah, we were talking about. They're like the dream team. You guys in?
They really are.
The other guys are like, nah, we played last year.
Right.
Can we still come to BlizzCon though?
Yeah. I'm sure they all get more than enough to do that. But yeah, so that whole controversy was, I mean, it was a weird thing. But I do, like, I I don't want this to also discourage players from shit talking, and that's what I think
Yeah.
Dogman is, for the most part. Like that's what I've really liked about him is he's not afraid to talk shit, and I want more of that.
And everybody was afraid to talk shit last year.
Yes, at least so like having a guy like that to be that catalyst for people to fire back and to just kind of start some things like that. That's what I like about him, and I do want more of that.
Like
so
one of the
hoping that this kind of I hope that this doesn't damper that at all.
Well, and like even like earlier today, I was flipping around on like looking around on Twitter, and like Dallas and the Houston were like going at it, of course, because whatever, and fucking Super just jumps in the middle of like the whole fucking thing, and I just because he's on my Twitter feed too. It's like Super's like, y'all are y'all are fighting over 15th place, really? Like just smack little kids, shut up.
Trenchford, I was going to respond to that with, isn't that just the Overwatch League? But then I remember San Francisco exists, so that just kind of shut me down.
Oh, he would definitely be a DB. He's got that kind of mouth. But
a DB or a free safety.
Hey, but Rascal Smack Talk is also
Rascal
Smack Talk is also fantastic.
Yes.
He's just basically like, yeah, I'm the best. Fuck you.
I mean,
yeah, it's just like every week. It's just like
he's really not wrong.
It's just like usually just like a smiley face, like we won again. You suck. Smiley face.
Like he's happy trolling, and I love that so much.
He's like the dude who's won like 5 fights and just standing there smiling. He's like, all right, if you want to go, let's go. You're gonna lose. All right, you ready? Okay. Yeah, he's a nice trash talker, but that's almost worse than the guy that's like screaming at somebody. It's just
like that almost makes you feel worse. Like this guy's so nice about like him just destroying me. Like
he's the guy that's like walking off the stage, puts his arm. Someday, buddy, someday you'll be in the same room with us.
Someday you guys will beat us, maybe.
Well, you'll be close to
retire.
Us. Yeah, you'll have a chance sometime.
God. All right, so let's move on to. We did talk a little bit about the Valiant and Chengdu, but as far as that goes, how are you feeling? As far as how those two teams went, like, I mean, Chengdu obviously finished pretty strong, and they're kind of that wild card, but it's kind of a bummer for the Valiant to not have gone in with how well they started, with how well they turned things around.
Yeah, I kind of wanted the Valiant in there, and then I kind of thought, I'm like, you know what? I want the monkey wrench that is Chengdu to be in there.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I think, after looking at the teams that are in there, I'm like, these teams can pretty much take the Valiant right now. I mean, the Valiant were getting better, and they had momentum and all that stuff, but they put all of this effort into this. Where are they going to be when everything gets flipped around a little bit next week?
Again, yeah.
It's not going to matter to Chengdu unless they could come out and sim the fuck out of this whole thing. You don't know.
I will
sim
be
Doomfist
shocked if they are not running sim in some way. Shape,
they're going to run. They're going to run bitch fist.
But I feel like they're also going to be a team that's going to whip out some nutty teleporter things.
Oh,
you're just going to be like, what? Like,
where did that come from?
You could put that there.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I want to see what the hell they're going to do because, well, they've had some actually. Everyone's trying to like do like these rivalry things. I think them and the Charge is a fantastic rivalry that's kind of like starting.
Yes,
because like they always go to like 5. It's usually something. Well, there was actually one. Well, the one stage Chengdu absolutely fucking ripped him when.
But I mean, even from the beginning of the season, that was one of the first matches we got was those two teams playing each other, and like that was one of the most entertaining games we had all season.
Yeah, and it was just because nobody knew what was going to happen because we heard it was going to be goats, and we're like, this Chengdu team is and they're running. What are they running?
They're running ball,
wrecking ball. There's wrecking ball, Doomfist, and a Far Mercy. What the fuck is this?
And then Guangzhou was just like, okay.
And Hotba just said, okay, I'm just going to go into the hero screen and just flip around and Bink. Okay.
I'm just gonna hold down my right arrow key and for a certain amount of time, and then just whatever it ends up on.
Yeah, wherever I let go, that's what I'm playing. All right, here we are. Yeah, but I just think that I don't know. It adds like that element of, well, you're going. Well, Guangzhou is one of the best teams. Well, they got to play Chengdu, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think that they could beat them. I don't. I feel bad for Guangzhou that they drew them first.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were in a pretty good role. I mean, it's going to be kind of epic. I think it's going to be a fucking stupid match.
I think honestly, I feel like of most of the play-in games, that's probably going to be one of the best ones we get.
Yeah. Well, and the other one that we're going to get, which is Shanghai and Philly, is going to be interesting. I think Shanghai, they could have been practicing a lot on this new patch.
I hope so,
because they look like hot garbage.
Yeah, if they come out the way they played in this stage, it's not looking good.
No, it's not. And then they got to face Seoul, they're a different kind of what the fuck that Chengdu is. I mean, we're going to get into all of this later on in the week, but London, I can't sleep on London. I don't know why. No. There's just like a thing in the back of my head going, okay, so they're here.
Until London falls apart, when things really come down to it, that's when I'll be like, basically if London loses in the first thing, I will be until they are completely eliminated. I will believe that they can come back.
If they lose in the first round, that's the most disappointing season of any team in this league anyone that's had any. You know where I'm going.
If they don't even make it out of the play-in tournament, or at least make it to the second round of the play-in tournament,
I mean, you could kind of say that about Philly if they get knocked out, but Philly, honestly, if you think about it, last year everyone's like, "Oh, Philly," but Philly shouldn't even have been there to begin with in the play-in. They like just fought hard, and they got there, and they were like the underdog story. You forget they were the underdog going all the way through.
Yeah, in every single match that they had, like no one expected them to do anything.
Yeah, beat New York.
Yeah, definitely. No one saw that coming.
I mean, the crazy thing was they couldn't beat Houston.
Monte Cristo. I feel like didn't Monty call that?
Philly
beating New York?
Oh yeah, he did.
He did call
because Monte Cristo's usually right.
Yeah.
And he also posted his as soon as Shanghai or not Shanghai, as soon as the Valiant lost, he posted that anime video that someone made of him like doing the Overwatch is not anime.
God.
In Korean, it's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
He's like, yes, we need more. Of course it's Monty, so he's like, we need more of this.
Yeah.
And he also did say this weekend, they were talking, like I was watching it earlier, and it was like they were talking about, well, the best rivalry, we had the best rivalry in the Overwatch League, the Battle of LA. He's like, I thought it was me versus the Houston Outlaws. He's not wrong.
He is not.
But Shanghai isn't a hard free fall. I think they could straighten things out, though. I just think they need to refocus and not just...
tried working the same thing that worked really well in Stage 3, but it doesn't work
with an extra tank in there that made it not work.
Yeah.
The whole thing was the third DPS and the ball and doing all that stuff. Because, I mean, they have competent players. I mean, they're going to be able to figure something out. But I do expect Gamsu to be able to Sigma pretty well. Yeah.
I feel like that's... I don't know. Like, I find it hard to feel like any team that's going into this is going to struggle. Like, looking at their main tanks, I feel like there's very few that I feel like are going to struggle to play Sigma.
Yeah. The only thing that could be is if they do the Orisa Sigma, who are the off tanks that are going to pick it up fastest?
Yeah.
I would go with someone like Fury.
Pick it up. Yeah.
No, they're not flexible at all, Mikey.
But the way that the ones that are going to be played, I feel like
They have too many set plans, it seems like.
are ones that I think they can pull off.
Yeah.
Like if Doomfist is one, I feel they've got.
But what's Doomfist going to do with 9 million barriers? Plus, Sigma can erase him in like 2
that's
seconds.
The thing is he punches through barriers.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is Sigma, you can erase him with Sigma if you're good. On this level.
Yeah.
I mean, at my level, it's Doomfist and fucking Farah just run around and kill everything. But
well, Farah's definitely not going to do shit in this meta.
No. Well, if you start running Doomfists and a little bit squishier, because Doomfist Farah can take care of him. It's hard to say.
Yes and no. I mean,
she needs
just
more
looking
damage.
at that game yesterday, look at what Architect was doing in that game yesterday, and he was literally keeping them in that one portion on Lijiang Tower, and they still lost because Siomensu's Doomfist was so filthy.
Yeah,
like he couldn't even hit him because he was too fast.
And this comp, the current comp that they're playing, is perfect for Doomfist because there's a lot of targets that he can. Like, excuse me.
He's got his like black hole thing that stops Reaper.
Yeah, and he can deal
and
with.
He can knock him out with the rock too.
Reaper has 2 shots. It's rock. You wait for the cooldown. Rock, one volley with his little balls there, big rock little balls. I've done it because people are dumb in my Halo, so.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
got
know
all those. It's the 1 arrow less nerf, and all that stuff is going to be in that patch. So all of the Rhine buff.
Yeah, I think it's the patch that we have currently live. Like I don't think none of the changes that are PTR are going to go live for any of the playoffs.
None of the Zarya, and the beam changes.
The Zarya sim nerfs.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those are going to be in there.
Nerf to a minimal
live,
extent.
I believe will be played. So that's going to make things really interesting.
Yeah, but I think Shanghai could turn it around.
Yeah, I do. I think they can too, but
within reason.
I mean, they gotta.
I think they can be. I think they can be Philadelphia. I really think they. I think they can be Philadelphia.
It'll be the next round that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
And then it's Seoul, so that's up in the air because Seoul's just up in the air.
Right, Seoul's up in the air no matter
what. They're like the emo, like the shrugged shoulders, like, meh.
Guess I'll die. I just think of that old man, like,
yeah.
Guess I'll die.
Yeah, and they're also the dog in the flaming kitchen. This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. Absolutely.
Actually, that's New York right now.
Yeah, that's definitely more New York.
This is fine. Flower actually looked good today.
He did.
It's
too little, too late.
I think Vancouver was playing with their food.
Kinda, yeah. That's kind of the impression I got from that game too.
Yeah. It's like when Darth Vader looked at fucking Obi-Wan in Star Wars and was like, "You're weak, old man. I will become more powerful than you were ever imagined." No, you won't, because we're gonna kick you in the fucking dirt.
Right.
Oh, and you're not gonna come back in ghost form and fuck us in the playoffs.
So,
I have I have some faith in Seoul.
Yeah. I
fled a deadlift.
Don't.
Fled a deadlift.
I understand your hesitation to not have faith in Seoul. I do think that their current roster is not quite as prone to the boneheaded things that they would do before, but
they're Seoul.
It's still Seoul, so you never know what their coaches are going to do to mess that up.
Yeah, and the thing with them is I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this magical lunatic high stuff to start fucking coming around.
I think we're well beyond that.
And I think Rouge Hong is. This could be his last ride. You don't know.
Yeah, that seems likely to me, honestly.
See, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, we're going to talk about all this shit later, but I don't know what to think of them going in.
I don't either. I really don't.
I need a few days to process.
Yeah.
And then I'll come up with my bracket and be totally wrong.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's move on to we kind of already talked about the Shock and just how like
They're
they just didn't
merciless.
pull any punches this weekend. Like today,
Nope.
they just absolutely shredded the Valiant. Like no mercy at all.
Yeah.
Just didn't care.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then
We're gonna
they
take next
played
week off.
they played Vancouver the same way. Like
Yeah,
they
and
didn't dominate Vancouver, but they did not pull any punches against them either.
no, and Vancouver didn't either, and that was a fantastic match.
No.
Best match of
It
the
was a
weekend.
great game for sure.
Oh,
Ironic that the hometown team, that was the one thing we didn't really talk
Yeah,
about. That is
they got
that was
fucking
the one time that the home team for the
lost
the
it,
rivalry
both
weekend
games.
had lost both games, but also didn't have like cake for schedule. Because man,
Yeah.
my God, like what a brutal matchup they had. Like you're facing like two of the best teams in the league.
And you have
and
to
you
win
have
the games.
to win both games.
Well, they're like, oh, let's make it
And
rivalry.
won.
Let's make it rivalry weekend. It'll be fun against the Gladiators and the Shock. That's kind of not fair to us, man.
Good luck.
Yeah. GG.
Right. Like,
GLHF.
well, it sucks for the Shock, or it sucks for the Shock down the line if they do that too, because then they have to play Vancouver.
Yeah. Oh, you know that's going to happen.
Oh, for sure. That's not going away anytime soon.
No, well, and they're going to home in their buildings.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, there's got to. Well, I mean, I've got to look at the schedule. I mean, who knows? They could have them playing in fucking
would think
Guangzhou
that-
for all you know.
I would think that there's at least one match where they're playing each other in one of their home buildings.
Yeah. And
But-
you know, Boston and New York are playing at home and all that because they're trying
Oh,
to build
for
that.
sure.
But the thing is Boston's a shit show,
Yeah.
and New York is whatever.
Yeah, right now they are, for sure.
Yeah.
Both the teams are pretty irrelevant, honestly. And that's sad for New York because they're the second seed in the entire league.
Well, yeah, it should be San Francisco, but you know, divisionally,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, they
so
could.
hopefully that goes away next year. Well, I think this was supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was. Well, we had to finish their seasons, so here you go.
Right, like, I guess Atlanta and Boston, sure, but who? What?
Atlanta and
rival
Boston, if you're going
does
like the
any
Civil
Atlanta
War,
team
North and
have?
South.
Right, like what rivals does any Atlanta team have besides New Orleans for their football team? That's
Well, their baseball
Really
team
hard.
has the Mets, I guess. I don't know.
sure.
They'll say the Yankees because
Yeah.
they're fucking idiots.
Right, but the Yankees are everybody's rival because no
Yeah.
one besides the Yankees likes the Yankee.
Well, yeah, we're that way because you all hate us. And you hate us this year
Stop winning
too.
so many championships, assholes.
Well, if you guys play better,
God,
there you
your
go.
bullpen is disgusting, by the way, and
Yep.
I want nothing to do with that. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Like, you have a terrible human being as your closer.
But yeah,
Make sure you know.
I do know that.
Yeah,
Um,
but
um, just as long as we don't run another black and white baseball uniform weekend, please. That was the stupidest
my God,
fucking
that
thing
was
I've ever seen.
horrible. Like, how are you going to have New York?
That wasn't even like hype
versus-
gear.
How are you going to have the Yankees versus the Dodgers
In
and
not classic
they're
uniforms.
Not in their classic uniforms. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, I get like hype gear and all that stuff, but that stuff was just like that was worse than Color Rush.
Yeah.
That was worse
my
than
God.
that was worse than when the Rams play the fucking like 49ers and it's like orange and or red and yellow.
Or any
like-
team plays the
Jaguars.
Jaguars or no, the worst color rush uniform. The Seahawks. They're lime green,
Yeah.
hot neon green garbage.
What looks like the dude
Looks
running
like
on the side of the road like fucking jogging
It,
uniform.
no, it looks like they're trying to. It's like the behind the scenes of like a movie where they're all in motion capture
It
suits.
looks like Brengy suit. Seriously.
It,
Kind of
it
does.
just looks like mocap suits to me. It's like
Yeah.
just
fucking
change
dumb.
them all to Gollum and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've hit the peak.
Yeah. All right. So one last team we wanted to talk about, and that is the Gladiators. Finally, they pull off a big win that they needed, but it wasn't against a team that mattered. So,
right, but
way to Gladiators.
But no, you know what though, they look good really doing it.
They really dominated the Valiant,
and they needed to do that because there is so many pressure, and that's a pressure situation for them too. I mean, the game mattered not in the schedule. But
for them to get into that, or solidify that 5 spot, and make sure that they don't have to play in the play-in,
and
it was big.
They have trouble beating the Valiant.
They do.
But I mean, look at last year. But I think it was good, and everybody played decently for the most part. I
mean, they did get their teeth kicked in on that first map, but yeah.
They figured it out, though. That's the thing. They did something that they didn't do last year. Is they figured it out, and figure it out in the coach's room, at halftime or anything like that. The guys on the floor figured it out. You know what they needed to play. You know, switch off of Widow back to Hanzo for sure. I still think he should play May for a little bit. You know, on certain maps when you have Decay in there and let Decay. There was a couple times I was like, okay, so. Why is Decay still running this when they're running a Pharah and they're running Pharah Doomfist? I'm like, he could run a Genji into this, and he has no opposition. There's no. I think they weren't running a D.Va. I was like, let Decay go Genji on this. But they worked through it, and they're starting to work through things, and I think they're going to be okay. They'll have something in the first round. You know they will.
It will be interesting because who brought it up in chat earlier? I think it was Trenchfoot. Said that. Oh no, it was Mikey. Said that hydration is the #1 Sigma in the world.
You know, he's also a really good ball.
Trenchfoot. Yeah.
He's also a really good ball. He's their best ball player right now. I mean,
so it is interesting. Do you think that?
And he's got a really good Roadhog.
Bust that out and put him as their off tank. I think it's definitely a possibility. Do you put him as your off tank and have him run Sigma with Roar on D.Va or on Orisa?
On Orisa, and if you want to switch it up, he can play. He plays a really good fucking Roadhog too. He can play Zarya as well.
Yeah. So that would be that could be a
Void's
really
not terrible, but whoever's the better Sigma.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he's kind of that X factor, and I kind of think that he is
he's always been an X factor too.
When they just play better when he is in there. Even though his picks are always weird, they
work.
Yeah, he makes it work, and the team is able to work around it as well.
Yeah,
is also really important.
Oh yeah, and if he's the best Sigma on the ladder, why would you not play him? And especially when he's competent at Wrecking Ball, Roadhog, and Zarya. Mm-hmm. The other things you're probably going to use.
Right. Depending if there's a lot of Zarya or.
Rein Zarya, possibly. There's a
Rein
possibility
Zarya,
of that.
There's possibility Sigma Zarya.
Yeah. Rein Sigma.
There's definitely some interesting things that
Rein
could end up happening.
Yes, he is the poor man's Rascal.
Yeah.
How's his Baptiste?
Yeah, right. Well, I wouldn't want to have to pull Big Goose and Shaz anyway.
No, I mean, also too, the thing we didn't bring up. I mean, with that patch, you got the new Briggs set up. They're going to run that at some point.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
One of those guys.
Somebody's going to pull that out.
As much as the YouTube, the people that say this person's trash and that person's good, these guys always seem to pull it out and go, oh no, it's OP, and you just didn't notice.
Right.
When the videos
one thing or whatever.
When they start doing all the videos on how to play this and that, and then after that, it's like, well, we don't know about this hero. And then the pros are like, oh, watch this.
We do.
Yeah.
Here you go.
This is what you do. and
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah.
But I think maybe, I mean, that could be a thing. They also had those top 6 teams they got that week, and the one thing that Baby Bay said that I didn't think of that I thought was fucking genius was, we want to see how they run the Sigma thing in this play-in tournament, to see what these guys are doing, to see what the other teams that were not scrimming, and where we're at with the meta going into the double elim tournament. So, I mean, someone's going to pull something out, because you got one loss and you're out. Someone's going to do something. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be a team like Philly. I think Philly's going to kind of just work on their things and get it straight. I don't think they're going to beat Shanghai, but that's for later on in the week. But
Yeah.
there's going to be one team that's going to dominate with Sigma, and either Sigma Zarya, Sigma, just Sigma in general. Someone's
We're
going to
gonna
figure
get
it out.
a much more clear picture of what the playoff meta is going to be after the play-in tournament for sure.
I'm assuming
and just kind of how you can use Sigma with everything else that's already in the game.
Right, and I'm afraid it's going to be Sigma Orisa with walls and barriers and walls, and then with Symmetra throwing a giant wall, and
Right.
it's going to be like a Pink Floyd movie.
Yeah. Just trippy as balls.
Yeah. I saw. I got taken to that when I was like 12, and I wasn't high. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean,
I figured it out about 2 years later.
fair enough. So yeah, let's kind of dive into this play-in tournament. What are some of your thoughts on this? Like, who are you thinking is going to do well?
I honestly, I know they have a bye. I'm not sleeping on London.
Yeah, me either.
Maybe I'll get burned. Maybe I won't. London, and oddly, that side of that bracket is so fucking tough, man.
Right.
Because you got Chengdu, Guangzhou, and London, and the bottom half is up in the air. I don't know what the fuck to think of any of these teams. Like, they all could go off, or they all could just shit the bed.
Yeah, really could go either way.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting any snipery with the amount of walls. So, I mean, outside of Hanzo, so I think Philly is in a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, EQO, who usually picks something up like instantly, could play Sim like a god. Which,
yeah, I mean, I could see that, but would it be EQO or would it be
Carpe?
DM who would be, or Carpe? I mean,
yeah,
that would be the better Sim player because it's more tracking than it is.
Or are they just gonna nope? Or is everybody just gonna nope and run what they're running right now?
Yeah, or are they just gonna? Hanzo is still somehow gonna work or some shit like that, because if that's the case, then they have a good shot because EQO's a god on Hanzo.
Yeah, I do.
But I don't know, like it's weird, and I think
that is a trap game. I bet
the biggest thing that's gonna hold this team back is
tank line.
Is the tank line, absolutely.
It's always, and their supports are kind of.
As much as I like Poco, he's a phenomenal diva player. I just don't have any faith in anything else he's going to play, and we all know everything about
Sato.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to be a Sigma guy. I do agree, Mikey, with that. I bet, and that would be a game I would avoid. If it was an NFL game, I would look at
there's no way I would bet on that game. Absolutely not.
I would look at that, and I would be like, unless the only way I would bet it, this is how I would bet it. If the money line was fantastic for Chengdu, I would throw money on Chengdu on the money line. If the odds were good, if you got like a 250 to 100 on that,
yeah,
I would lay money on Chengdu.
That's fair.
Just because it's a shot in the dark, and they're always good with the shot in the dark because you don't know. They're just wacky. I mean, they could come out and scare them. You don't know who's going to have jitters either. It's playoffs. It's different.
But I do think the team that is going to be least taken by surprise by them is the Charge.
Yeah, but I will agree with that.
That's the one thing that makes me hesitant to think that.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
They could come out with something. Soldier, Symmetra, and fucking Sigma.
Right. Some
Sigma
weird stuff that
Roadhog.
hasn't even been played anywhere, and everyone, what the hell is this? And then it just dominates.
Yeah.
But
Sigma
I don't
Ball.
know. I feel like that game's going to go back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
I still have I have Guangzhou and London coming out of this.
Well,
It's kind of what I'm thinking.
the brackets aren't going to work your way unless they reseed.
It is lowest remaining seed plays London, highest seed plays Seoul.
Okay. So if Guangzhou wins...
If Guangzhou wins, they would play Seoul.
Okay. Guangzhou wins, they play Seoul. Chengdu wins, they play London.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever... then if Shanghai wins, they play London.
Like, no matter what, if Guangzhou wins, they're playing Seoul.
Right. Oh, okay,
sure.
yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm picking Guangzhou and London to come out of this.
Okay. That's a lot of blue.
Yeah, right. Who are you picking?
I can't go against that. Well, the first game frightens me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like I just said, I would throw money on the money line if the odds were right on Chengdu.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go against my boy Prophet though. Fuck, man. I don't. You know what? Initially, I would go with you on that and say Guangzhou and London. I wouldn't be surprised though if Chengdu fucking comes out of this though in some weird fashion.
I wouldn't either, because honestly, I feel like if Chengdu wins the first one, they're gonna beat Seoul.
Oh yeah. Seoul did slap
out.
them a couple times though. Oddly enough.
Yeah, true, they did. But I think my dark horse for coming out of this, honestly, I think if Shanghai has something in their sleeves, or just knows something that somebody else doesn't, I think they have a good shot of sneaking in there. And not a lot of people are giving them credit because they have been hot garbage in Stage 4. But I think if any team is going to surprise anybody, it would be them.
Yeah,
because they have a lot of potential, and I just don't see them continuing to play as poorly as they did without having a reason of like, oh well, this is what we were doing.
Yeah, well,
It's either they're either going to dominate the whole thing, or they're going to get smoked in the first game, and then we'll forget about them.
I'm going to go.
It's going to be one or the other.
You know, I kind of my dark horse is Chengdu just for the I don't know what the fuck's going to happen reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair enough.
I do like it when there's a team like that in playoff scenarios that like you're like, okay, this is concrete mostly, but this team here is they're my dark horse. If they Chengdu does always play London. You're right. I looked at I did the math, kind of. They would have to always play London because London's 7.
Yeah.
So I would have to go against.
That's why I feel like if Chengdu does beat Guangzhou, they're going to end up winning and beating London.
Yeah, because London's like, who knows? They could come out and just be London, but
right.
Chengdu throwing the monkey wrench in there would be fucking fantastic. That's my dark horse. As far like not even diving into my dark horse in the regular playoffs would be Atlanta, but I don't know if that's a dark horse anymore or not. But
I would still say it is because it's not the top 2 team. It's not San Francisco or Vancouver.
I'm going with New York. This year's the year. Oh,
go for it. It's all
I'm not wasting my money.
You can have that one.
I'm not wasting my money.
I mean, I'll take the opposite of that bet.
Who knows with them too? We'll get into. We're gonna dive into that a lot. So I want to watch. I didn't really. I passively watched this weekend's matches. I was actually doing stuff every time they were playing. Mm-hmm. I want to watch them a little bit, like watch them. Like the last couple weeks matches, and just see what exactly the fuck they're doing, if they're doing anything at all.
Yeah.
Which, but
not really, from what I saw. Yeah. But I didn't really get to see too much of it either. But I do want to check out some of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's most of what we wanted to discuss today.
Yeah, that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us on all of the streaming venues that we're on right now. We're on YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch. Thanks a lot for everybody that's been joining us in chat. Thanks a lot. It's been very fun tonight. Anybody watching this on YouTube later on, thank you. Hit a like, hit a subscribe. It helps us out a ton. Also, anyone that's on the listening to us on the podcatcher of your choice, whatever, Spotify or iTunes or anything, SoundCloud, anything like that, thanks a lot. Please give us a rating. We also have a Patreon page. Hit that up. We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff in the off season with that, because we want to build up a base, and we want to be able to go and report at different venues and stuff like that. So we're gonna give you guys some more stuff. Stay tuned for our channel. There could be something interesting happening later on in the week. If you guys are into fantasy football,
Yes.
stay tuned. You're going to see all of your favorite podcasters perhaps on here.
Yeah.
That's if we're doing video chat and all that stuff, but we'll see what happens. But yeah,
Even if it's just voice chat, oh my god.
We are doing a podcaster fantasy football league. So stay tuned for that, because there's going to be much smack talk all over the internet about that. I'm sure Ednar and Ramses are already gearing up.
Oh yeah.
There's other stuff too. But anyway, join us. Later on in the week, we will have a preview. I mean, the matches start on Friday. We'll get you way before then. So stay tuned, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Later.